When your dog sleeps at your feet instead of your bed, do you actually know what that means? You probably think it's just a habit. Maybe they're more comfortable there. Maybe they like the floor. But behind that simple sleeping spot, there's something deeper that most dog owners completely miss. It's one of the most instinctive and emotionally layered things your dog can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might completely miss how your dog sees you in their world. Let's start with what this behavior really means. 1. TS not about comfort, it's about position. You see your dog curled up near your feet and think, they just like that spot. That's the common assumption, but here's what's actually happening. Your dog is choosing a position, not just a place. In the wild, where a dog, or more accurately, their ancestors' rests, is never random. Position determines safety, awareness, and role within the group. Sleeping at your feet puts your dog in a very specific zone, close enough to feel your presence, but low enough to not challenge your space. Emotionally, this is balance. They're saying, I want to be near you, but I know my place. Think about that for a second. This isn't distance, it's controlled closeness. And what that reveals is powerful. Your dog doesn't just love you. They recognize your role in their world. And this is where most owners get it wrong. Your dog is tracking you, even in their sleep. Have you ever noticed? Your dog barely moves when you're still. But the second you shift your feet, they wake up instantly? Most people think they're a light sleeper. But here's what's actually happening. A 2020 study in canine cognition research found that dogs remain partially alert, even during rest when they are near their primary human. They're not fully off. They're monitoring your breathing, your movement, your presence. But what matters is this. They're choosing you as the thing worth monitoring. Emotionally, this means you are their reference point for safety. I think about that for a second. Your dog isn't just sleeping, they're staying connected. In a pack environment, this behavior ensures survival. If the leader moves, the group responds. And in your dog's mind, you are that signal. So when they sleep at your feet, they're not disconnecting from you. They're staying tuned in. And here is where it gets even deeper. 3. Your scent is their safe zone. Why your feet? Why not the couch or across the room? Here's what most people don't realize. Your feet carry one of the strongest concentrations of your scent. To us, that doesn't mean much, but to your dog it means everything. A 2021 study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs can recognize and emotionally respond to their owner's scent even when separated visually. But here's the emotional translation. Your scent equals safety. When your dog sleeps near your feet, they're surrounding themselves with the strongest version of you. Think about that for a second. They're not just near you physically, they're anchored to you through scent. In pack behavior, scent defines belonging. It tells a dog, this is my group. This is where I am safe. So when your dog chooses your feet, they're choosing the place where your presence is strongest. Your dog is identifying you as their safe base. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog owners who actually want to understand what their dog is really saying. 4. This comes from ancient pack instincts. Now let's go deeper. Long before dogs had beds, they had packs. In wolf pack structures, sleeping positions are not random. They are strategic. Leaders often take central or slightly elevated positions. Other members position themselves around them close, but not intrusive. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog is instinctively placing themselves in a support role. Not above you, not far away, but near your base, your feet. Emotionally, this reflects something ancient. Protection combined with respect. Think about that for a second. Your dog is close enough to detect movement, close enough to react if something changes, but positioned in a way that doesn't challenge your authority. And what makes this even more powerful is, this isn't something you trained. It's something they feel. From puppyhood, dogs learn proximity rules, who they can climb on, who they stay beside, who they follow. So when your dog chooses your feet, They're acting out a role that's been wired into them for thousands of years. And that leads to something most people completely overlook. 5. They don't do this with everyone. Think about it. Does your dog sleep at everyone's feet, or just yours? Most people don't even question this, but here is what's actually happening. This behavior is selective. Dogs don't assign this position randomly. They choose it based on trust, attachment, and emotional hierarchy. Emotionally, this is exclusivity. Your dog is saying, "You are my person." Think about that for a second. Out of every human they know, every voice they hear, every scent they recognize, they choose you as the one to stay connected to, even while resting. In pack terms, this is bonding behavior. It reflects who they align with most closely. And what this reveals about how your dog sees you is simple. You're not just part of their life. You're central to it. And here's where it gets even deeper. 6. This is quiet protection, not submission. A lot of people assume this behavior means submission, that my dog stays at my feet because they're lower in the hierarchy. But that's only half the story. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog is positioning themselves where they can respond first, at your feet. They are closest to the ground, closest to movement, closest to any approach. Emotionally, this is protective awareness. Think about that for a second. They're not just resting near you. They're placing themselves between you and the unknown. Even in a relaxed home environment, that instinct doesn't disappear. It just becomes subtle. In pack survival, certain members take on roles of early detection. They're the ones who feel vibrations, who notice changes first. And your dog is choosing that role for you. So next time your dog curls up at your feet, remember, that's not passive behavior. That's quiet protection. And it leads to the deepest meaning of all. 7. If they stop doing this, pay attention. Now here's something most people ignore. If your dog always sleeps at your feet and suddenly stops, that matters. Here is what's actually happening. A sudden change in sleeping position can signal emotional stress, discomfort, or even physical pain. Dogs are creatures of pattern. When they break a pattern tied to safety and bonding, it's not random. Think about that for a second. If your dog no longer chooses to be near you at rest, something has shifted in how they feel. It doesn't always mean something serious, but it's always worth noticing, because this behavior isn't small. It's one of the clearest windows into your dog's emotional state, so don't ignore it. So when your dog sleeps at your feet instead of your bed, it's not just about comfort. It's not just about habit. It's about position, connection, instinct. That's not distance. That's intentional closeness. It's your dog saying, "I trust you, I respect you, and I am here with you." And that behavior, it was never small to your dog, and it shouldn't be small to you either.